Tonight, Spencer Gulf cities creep closer to 70% of locals having their first COVID jab, as Broken Hill marks another day of zero new cases.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf studios, your nightly news with Ruby Kamain begins now.
Good evening. Many cities across the Spencer Gulf are edging towards 70% of their populations receiving their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Close to 2 million jabs have already been administered across the state.
Another step closer to achieving a gradual lift of restrictions in the state. Many cities across the Spencer Gulf, either close to or exceeding 70% of residents who have received their first dose of the COVID vaccine.
Our strong message is still go and get vaccinated. There are thousands of appointments that are available, and now you can walk into any one of our mass vaccination clinics here and without an appointment.
According to the latest data from the Australian Department of Health, Port Augusta sits right under 70% of first doses. Close to 55% already have their second. It's the same story for residents in Port Pirie and its surrounding districts. Meanwhile, in Whyalla, close to 68% have received their first dose only, with 54% double dosed. However, other parts of the region have already exceeded 70% for first doses. Orroroo Carrington at 84%.
Go and see someone who knows you, who you trust, and who'll give you the right advice for you.
However, the RACGP believes the numbers should be higher at this point for our major towns. The leading body of general practitioners encouraging everyone to get their vaccine before the state opens to the rest of the country.
COVID will just rip through the unvaccinated. A truck driver could pass through the Spencer Gulf area today.
Mark Zeta, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Over the border, and Broken Hill has had another day with no new COVID cases. 3 new cases or household contacts have been recorded in Dareton. There's now just 6 active cases in Broken Hill, while the Menindee case is now virus-free. Broken Hill residents are once again being encouraged to get tested and won't need to self-isolate while waiting for results if they show no symptoms. And a surge in the vaccination uptake will bring the next stage of Broken Hill's reopening forward, with New South Wales expected to reach 80% double-dosed this weekend. Quarantine-free international travel to begin in weeks, but trips to and from Sydney have been pushed back.
Dust off the passport. From November 1st, the fully vaccinated arriving from overseas can get tested and get into Australia.
We want people back. We're leading the nation out of this pandemic. A hotel quarantine, home quarantine is a thing of the past.
A clear sign from the Premier, the state is reopening. But trips between regional areas and Greater Sydney have been pushed back to November, with tourist hotspots on the East Coast lagging behind in vaccination rates.
I know that with this announcement today, it is going to be frustrating for many people, but we also know this is about protecting the regions.
JobSaver to be extended until the end of this month for the regions as a make good. From Monday, after New South Wales hits 80% double dose, community sport resumes, gatherings increase, there'll be no caps on weddings, funerals and hospitality bookings, masks aren't needed in offices and stand-up drinking will be permitted indoors. Those changes once again reserved for the double jabbed. Proof can now be linked to the Service New South Wales app.
Find Share with Check-in app and choose Service New South Wales.
Victoria also removing quarantine requirements for fully vaccinated New South Wales travellers from Wednesday. So far, that hasn't been reciprocated. Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
SA Water has announced Billy Lights Point as its preferred location for the Eyre Peninsula's desalination plant. The company is saying a climate-independent water source is needed for the region, as natural sourced water is becoming scarce.
Increasing the ability to improve the water quality, and that's a really key aspect of this site, but also it represents the best value for money for our customers.
The decision coming as a surprise for the local aquaculture industry after months of negotiations with the organisation. SA Water saying marine activity is at front of mind in that area. The state government and Nearstar have agreed to extend Port Pirie's targeted lead abatement program for another 10 years. The extension will see TLAP run from 2024 to 2034 as part of its commitment to residents in the city and Upper Spencer Gulf. While there are targets on lead in air and blood, addressing the wide-ranging environmental impacts from more than 100 years of operation of the lead smelter is set to take more time. Details of the new agreement will be finalised in March next year. A Port Augusta man has lost his licence after being caught allegedly driving more than 4 times over the legal alcohol limit. At around 6 a.m. on Wednesday, patrol stopped a white Toyota Prado on Agnes Street for a mobile driver test. The 36-year-old driver allegedly returned a positive result of 0.220, more than 4 times the legal limit. He was issued with an immediate 12-month licence disqualification and will be summoned to appear in the Port Augusta Magistrates Court at a future date. Still to come tonight, lockdowns on homeschooling, leading to calls for reforms to ATAR, and extra funding for a Port Augusta drought hub to support local farmers. Welcome back. A Broken Hill student is among those calling for a fresh look at ATAR scoring, saying it doesn't represent individuals fairly. Lockdowns on homeschooling said to be widening the gap for those in regional areas.
For the last 9 weeks, this has been the closest HSC student Michelle Coombs has come to the classroom.
Being in lockdown definitely affects your mark and your study and your mental health a lot.
COVID rules disrupting her preparations for exams.
I know that I'm the type of person, you give me an assignment and I'll be good as gold, but you put me in a test and I'll probably fail.
Michelle wants to study to become a teacher, but says personal values and assignments throughout the year should have more weight than a single test.
Having an exam show whether or not you're good enough to do something it's insane.
This really is a time, I think there's an obligation right now to reconsider the ATAR and rethink the process.
The Country Education Foundation saying 2 years of natural disasters and COVID are widening the gap between city and country students.
There's a lot more to any person, and particularly these young adults, than these exams and their rankings.
The Education Minister was contacted for comment. No response was received by deadline. Lachlan Ittis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
South Australians are urged to prepare their properties and families ahead of this summer's bushfire season. It comes as the CFS names October Bushfire Ready Month, aiming to get property owners establishing their bushfire plans.
After busy fire danger seasons over the last 2 years, the Country Fire Service is taking no chances this season. The organisation wanting residents to start thinking about their bushfire plans.
Sort it out with your family and to know what to do when certain weather is predicted. That is key to being able to be properly prepared for days of bad fire weather.
During this month, the CFS is ramping up their messaging to be prepared. A household's bushfire plan, a vital resource.
Be planned for the fire danger season. Get on the CFS website, create your plan and train with that plan and discuss it with your family.
The CFS saying there are simple steps for property owners to undertake, ensuring their properties are prepared.
Cleaning out gutters, debris around windows, old timber, anything that's going to cause you issues if a fire does come through and you're trying to defend your property.
Brendan Sars from the Port Lincoln CFS putting the call out for more volunteers.
Certainly if people are wanting to volunteer for the CFS, to contact us, we're always looking out for some more support.
Head to the CFS website for more information. Dylan Smith, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A $20 million funding boost will see the SA Drought Hub expand its focus to include more regional farmers. Set to see the establishment of additional walk-in offices across the state, with Port Augusta one of the key new locations.
New funding to rapidly expand the SA Drought Hub. Industry partners injecting more than $11 million into the hub, in addition to the $8 million worth of funding from the federal government's Future Drought Fund.
It'll expand our activities from just focused on drought to actually focused on all of agricultural innovations.
The hub's bringing together universities, government and agribusiness bodies in a collaborative effort to innovate the industry. by researching what can be done to strengthen the resilience of the sector and regional communities as a whole.
We're doing this by discussing with farmers what it is they need to be better prepared.
The funding seeing a new position created in Port Augusta and the development of a shop front to make the services readily available to the surrounding community.
If some of the rangelands people, when they come to Port Augusta, want to talk to somebody about the Drought Hub and what it's doing, there'll be somebody they can go and talk to.
It's said by having feet on the ground in local communities, the hub can help agricultural innovation, commercialisation and to create jobs.
We've got a proud future ahead of us, but we have to stick together through the trials and tribulations. We've been through so much, but the foundation stones are laid.
Real opportunity for agricultural commodities in South Australia to get together and try and do things differently.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. SAPOL launches a new regional road safety campaign and Corn Main Street receives a refreshing makeover. I'll see you with more soon. Hello again. Police are investigating the theft of traffic safety equipment in the Mid-North over the past few months. Between August and October, police have received reports of theft from roadwork sites along the Barrier Highway between Hallett, Mount Bryan and Burra. Plastic traffic cones, roadwork bunting, speed signs and mounts on the highway due to ongoing roadworks were believed to be stolen. Anyone with information is asked to contact Crime Stoppers. And police in Broken Hill are asking locals for their help to recover a distinctive stolen trailer. It's branded with the Elders Insurance advertisement and believed was taken from a rural property on the outskirts of town sometime between October 6th and 13th. Police have launched an investigation but are asking anyone who may have seen the trailer recently to contact the local station or Crime Stoppers. South Australia Police has launched a regional road safety campaign today aimed at reducing the death toll on our roads. 7 commercials will hit our screens over the next coming days, showing the emotional turmoil brought on by the fatal 5.
An ominous warning for thousands of drivers who live in the Spencer Gulf.
2 in 3 deaths on country roads are country people.
South Australia Police launching a new advertising blitz highlighting the impacts of the fatal 5.
I consider this to be one of the most important media campaigns or road safety campaigns that we've launched in recent times.
The big message: 2/3 of lives lost in crashes that happen in regional areas are locals. Countering research done by SAPOL, finding residents thought metropolitan drivers make up a majority of deaths on regional roads.
Some of the myths that are out there include the fact that country people think that it's people from the city or metropolitan areas who don't know how to drive on country roads who are the ones who are actually dying on country roads.
In addition, despite 30% of the South Australian population living in regional or rural areas, they account for 70% of crashes. The campaign aiming to dispel the myth crashes won't happen to them.
We only do this because we know it will target that attitudinal aspect. It will target the why.
Television advertising rolling out across our screens in November. Mark Zita, 7 Spencer Gulf News. The cruise ship industry is preparing to set sail after docking the fleet due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Tumby Bay Council calling on the state government to help refurbish the town's jetty in time for the influx of passengers.
A structure loved by the Tumby Bay community. The council hoping to upgrade the jetty in time for the impending cruise ship season.
We're seeing that there is a strategic opportunity, and Tourism SA have also recognised that there is a chance here for us in towns such as Tumby Bay to be able to maximise this opportunity. To be able to use facilities such as the jetty will necessitate an upgrade.
The town making a name for itself as the Eyre Peninsula's leading festival destination. Mayor Sam Telfer saying it's a massive tourism boost.
The visitor economy is building very fast on the Eyre Peninsula, and the level of experience which our visitors are having is unique.
The call comes as Tumby Bay is preparing to welcome 7 cruise ships and hundreds of passengers this summer. Tumby Bay Council pledging up to $1 million of the $3.5 million required for the refurbishment, now urging the state government to make a vital contribution.
Both under the water and above, so it's all different aspects of the jetty. When infrastructure like this has been in the marine environment for a significant period of time, it obviously gets degraded.
Mayor Telfer hoping a decision will be made in the coming months. Dylan Smith, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Pirie's Solomon Town boat ramp will be closed temporarily for repairs. Council advising the boat ramp will be closed from October 25, filling a void with concrete, with works expected to be completed by the end of that week. Residents are advised to use the ramp on the opposite side of the bridge to nowhere while works are being undertaken. Council will also be constructing a new launching area for the rowing club near the Yacht Club pontoon, due to start next month. A significant makeover of Hawker and Corn streetscapes is underway in the Flinders Ranges. The council funding the painting of local businesses and the restoration of public parks.
Nothing is more important than taking pride in your hometown. Both Quorn and Hawker, busy sites of activity this month with various construction and restoration projects ongoing.
It just seems to be non-stop at the moment.
It's all part of the Flinders Ranges Council's $200,000 facelift project. The funding already seeing Quorn's main street receive new paved footpaths, concrete walking trails and landscaping services.
We have contractors up there in Hawker laying down the pavers at the moment. I'm quite amazed at how quickly they work.
The Mayor says it all makes the towns more visually appealing to passing tourists, encouraging them to stay a while, engage with local businesses and use the new facilities.
Our bush food track is nearly finished. We'll be putting in some outdoor exercise equipment there.
The council also making a further $5,000 available to eligible residential properties to commence restoration work.
We've just looked at our local businesses, those that have applied for our mini grants to paint up their facades.
With more than 40 responses, they say this will transform the look of priority areas. Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. Port Pirie's cricket expert will join us with his weekend tips. And we'll have the weekend weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. It once adorned the halls of Parliament House, and now Pro Hearts the Crucifixion is up for auction. The piece among a number of Hearts works going under the hammer this Sunday. The starting bid is $5,500. A number of other works by the iconic Broken Hill artist are also up for grabs, from what Lloyd Auctions has described as one of the most significant collections of his artwork. Meanwhile, the Port Lincoln Art Group will commence fortnightly evening sessions from October 20. The sessions will run from 5:30 p.m. to 9 in the Nautilus Arts Centre. People are free to come and go within that time frame, with staff offering some structured introductory sessions or the option to work on your own piece. Attendees have the option of coming along to 3 sessions before committing to becoming a member of the group. Port Augusta's Relay for Life will hit the tracks at Chinnery Park Oval this weekend. The special 10-hour event will see teams of all ages relay through the day, with all the money raised supporting vital cancer research. The Port Augusta Relay has raised more than $336,000 for the local community impacted by cancer since the first event in 2006. The opening ceremony will begin at 12 p.m, with a candlelight vigil later that night at 8:30. Cricket is slowly returning to the Spencer Gulf, so let's hear from our Port Pirie expert with his tips for the city's weekend games.
Hello and welcome to the first round of Port Pirie cricket. It all starts this weekend with Props taking on Southport back at the Globe Oval. With the turf pitches unavailable for the first month, it's going to be some hard wicket cricket. I'm going to tip Southport in this one. Over at the Senate Road Sporting Complex, we're going to have WANDEARAH up against Port Germain. WANDEARAH are the reigning champions and will be looking to tune up early in this match. I'm going to tip WANDEARAH there.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with the weekend finally upon us. Here's Alex Sykes.
Thanks, Ruby. And Friday has arrived, but it was another wet one across most parts of the Gulf today. But don't fret, it is clearing up on the weekend and things are really heating up next week. More detail on that in just a moment. From 3 p.m. today, Port Pirie had showers and was 18 degrees. Woodner was partly cloudy and 20, and Kadina had a shower or 2 and was 16 degrees. Looking further out across the region now, Port Augusta was 20, Whyalla was 19, Port Lincoln 18, our friends in Adelaide were 17, Cleve was 16, a max of 14 in Clare, and Cooper Pedy was partly cloudy and 22. Taking a look at the satellite image now, areas of cloud across central and southern areas in the wake of a front and low are causing rain, showers and storms. Clearer skies to the north due to a high pressure ridge. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. South to southwesterly winds 20 to 30 knots, seas 2 to 3 metres, and south to southwesterly swell 1 to 1.5 metres. Port Lincoln will be cloudy and 18 tomorrow. Cleve partly cloudy and set to reach a high of 19 degrees there. Woodnor to reach 22. Whyalla and Kadina will be cloudy and 19. And great conditions for Port Augusta's Relay for Life. Partly cloudy with a high of 21 degrees there. Cloudy in Port Pirie to reach 20 degrees there. Clare a possible shower with 16. And Broken Hill partly cloudy and 20 degrees. Cloudy conditions expected on Sunday across the region. Partly cloudy in Port Pirie, Kadina and Cooper Pedy. Port Augusta to reach 29, Port Lincoln cloudy and 19, 25 degrees in Whyalla and Broken Hill. Taking a look into next week's forecast now, and as I said earlier, it's really heating up. Those clouds clearing slightly on Monday. Port Augusta mostly sunny with 33, Port Pirie will reach 31. Heating up again on Tuesday, Cooper Pedy wind and cloudy expected with a high of 39 degrees, sunny in Woodnor 38, partly cloudy in Port Lincoln with 28. So you can put the raincoat away now, Ruby, and that's all the weather from me for tonight. It's back to you.
Wonderful. Thanks for that, Alex. And that's all local news this Friday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening and your weekend. John Hunt and the team will see you on Monday with more local news. Good night.